Okay, I'm here with Aaron Stocco from the Hockey Hall of Fame. Aaron is the manager of special events and hospitality and has agreed we want to do a venue showcase, so it's across the street. Aaron's agreed to take us on a site inspection of the Hockey Hall of Fame. And right here, main entrance, so you're coming in as a public guest. This is where you come to buy your tickets, right through there. So Aaron, how you doing?
Good, pleasure. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So you start your regular site inspections right here?
Yes, this is where most of them start. A lot of times the clients will come down here and meet with me, and I'll greet them and kind of give them the lay of the land and the entrances. Now the fun part is for events, is that we could actually have the entrance downstairs here at this main level, or we could have the guests enter upstairs through the Great Hall, which is on street level. So depending on what you're renting, you could have either level for your event entrance, which is great.
So we are just after 1 p.m. There's an event going on here now?
There's an event going on.
And you can't have events going on while there's public guests in here?
Right, so during the day we have some meeting spaces, some theater spaces that we can rent out. So right here we have a group renting out both our Tim Hortons Theater and our TSN Theater for their daytime conference.
Tim Hortons Theater, TSN Theater, okay?
Yes. So this is their entrance right here. As you can see, the registration table is set up. We have coat check set up. It's perfect because it's right at the main entrance, so guests know where they're going when they arrive. One
point of context, I do have a little bit of inside information. I did formerly, as Aaron knows, I formerly worked here, working in special events and a couple other things. But I was about 10 years in here, and I was part of the team that opened up this place in 1993. So very exciting and cool for me to be back here. So let's go on in, Aaron.
Let's do it. Come on in. So welcome. This is our NHL zone. So this is the first thing you see when you come in here during the day for the general public, as well as many events. We've actually just transformed this space. We're honoring 3 anniversaries this year in the NHL. We have the Detroit Red Wings, New York Rangers, and Chicago Blackhawks celebrating 100 years in the league. So we have a new exhibit here that celebrates that achievement for all 3 teams. So we get a lot of Ranger fans and Hawk and Red Wing fans coming through our gate now and checking out these displays, as well as other hockey fans. But this space is great for events because these display cases here in the center of this area are all movable. So we could actually move these cases out of this area, open up this floor plan up for events. We do many cocktail receptions in here. We could set up a DJ on one side and do a nice dance party with these lights turning off above you, so you see all these displays are lit around the dance floor. We do plated dinners in here, lots of bar mitzvahs or wedding receptions. So it's a great kind of central area with lots of artifacts around.
Okay, a seated dinner in here. What are we talking about?
So in here you got about 80 to 100 guests for a seated dinner in here. We do a nice large harvest style setting as well for about 80 with different candles and arrangements, which is beautiful.
So if I want 80 people and you could have like some kind of dais up there and people, but I could rent like the whole down. Could we still go back and shoot pucks and whatnot?
Yeah. So when you do, great point. When you do book the facility. You could either book the concourse level, which is just this entire level down here. I'll show you, it's a huge space. It holds up to 775 guests. The second area that you could book for an evening event is upstairs, which is our Great Hall, which I'll show you a little later. That holds up 225 guests. Or you could rent the full facility, which gives you both levels for 1,000. Right. So if you do, have access to this area during the night or an evening reception, yes, you will get access to the entire space.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One of the great things that you have is it's a hook. Like, I'm a hockey fan. I'm in here and I kind of, I'm excited to see. I've not seen this exhibit. Yeah. So they've got an event going on right now. You've got an event going on right now. They can go and walk around.
They can, yeah. Lots of groups will kind of incorporate that into their day. So they'll have, a breakout, or during their lunch break, they'll send their guests out to explore, go upstairs, take their picture with the Stanley Cup, shoot some pucks. Cool. You can do scavenger hunts, kind of some really cool team building exercises for the groups. One thing I want to mention too is, as you know, this space is so large that most of our groups are usually for evening events are about 150 to say 300 people on average. So what I like to do is kind of have, like hockey, 3 periods for the night. So say the first period is here. We contain the group. They have a cocktail, do a little pass hors d'oeuvre, look around, enjoy the exhibits, maybe do a welcome remark just kick off the night. And then the second period, we could say take them into the next part of the Hall of Fame. And the third period maybe being the interactive with a nice dessert station. So we try to break up the facility as the night goes on, right? So they can just experience everything and also have that that event feel, you know, and not to have the group too sparse in the facility. So let's go on to the next space. So this is a very popular area, okay? I know earlier we mentioned we have, you know, daytime meeting spaces. So here up to the right, we have our Tim Hortons Theater. So right now the door is down, but there's a big theater in there that holds up to 90 people in full rounds. Lots of different meetings takes place during the year. And then in this TSN theater, it's a theater style, raised rows kind of atmosphere with 125 fixed seats. So a lot of groups.
Professional
theater. Actually, we just upgraded the projector and screen and all of the sound system last week, so it's all brand new. So we're really excited about that. Our team was hard at work doing that. But yeah, we have these beautiful spaces, both equipped with AV. And like we mentioned earlier, Scott mentioned that they have full range in the museum during the day, right? So it makes it fun and engaging, and great spaces for daytime rentals. For evening events, this space could turn into food station. So now we're at the kind of the core of the Hall of Fame right now. We have the kind of entrance exhibits. We have all the interactive games on the far side, and now we're kind of in the middle. So right here, it's a great spot for food stations. We could open up this theater, have additional food stations. So this is kind of like your period two. It's kind of like dinner time. So cocktails, dinner, and then we got the interactive as we walk further down. This is our brand new St. Louis Bar and Grill arena zone. It's supposed to mimic like going into an old stadium with the old Maple Leaf Garden turnstiles here off to the side.
Are those actual turnstiles?
Those are the ones, yeah, for Maple Leaf Gardens.
That's cool.
So you can see they're kind of worn down a little bit, right? But this is kind of the next area, and what's really neat too is along the center here, we have all 6 original buildings represented from the original 6 teams, right? So you have Maple Leaf Gardens, the old Chicago Stadium, the Olympia. So all 6 original buildings are here. So, which is awesome. You know, an awesome new feature to the hall.
I've been in every one of those.
Have you?
Yeah.
Wow. So now we're kind of heading into our third period, interactive, right? So you can see here we have a Zamboni, one of the first Zambonis from Boston Garden here on display.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it? Do you have that forever, or is that
It's
loan?
ours.
It's yours.
From my understanding, it's ours.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I usually drive that home to work sometimes. No. But this is a great spot for even like, you know, some scattered seating. We could do a nice dessert station here so people could see it from afar and kind of draw them into the third period, the kind of later part of the night. But yeah, come on down here. So this is a lot of fun. And you know what, clients love it too, because everything's so turnkey. You put the food and beverage in place, you put some background music, you got interactive games, you got decor, right? What else is needed for an event, right? This is our rink zone. So you can see on this side, this is our shootout game where you get about 6 or 7 shots on a virtual goalie, right? So we got the stick, we got the puck, take some shots, try to score, you get to pick what goal you want to shoot on. And the fun thing too is it records you while you play. All these games, it records you while you play. So you can send that footage of yourself taking shots or making saves to your email address, and you could share it to all your friends and family. So it's really well integrated that way. And then on the opposite side, you could be the goalie. So we have these walls here that the puck flies out of the wall and you try to save them. So, you know, you can test your goalie skills. You know, we've had players come in here from the NHL. We had Sidney Crosby and Jonathan Taves and Wayne Gretzky and his family all come back here and put on the same gloves and use the same sticks. So it's really neat to, you know, the fans get to experience that as well.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah. So as you can imagine, on weekends it's quite busy, but for events, this is all private, right? After hours. So you book the space out, this is all yours and all your guests. So we'll have all the lanes open. Guests come down here with their drinks, with their food. They put their drink down before they take a shot. You got music going. It's a great scene. It's a great scene. Don't leave me high and dry. Baby, you get me ice and fire. This is a newer zone. This is our mask exhibit.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So this is not just hockey, this is art, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You're right,
Yeah, they're
Aaron.
beautiful.
I never thought of it like that,
Yeah.
but it is. This is art.
Yeah. What better way to showcase something on a goalie's mask, right? Everyone has different characteristics, or they want to honor a family member or a goalie that they've looked up to throughout their childhood, and it's beautiful to see how they evolved over the years. But yeah.
And you remember, once upon a time, they did not wear masks.
They didn't.
Like, you look at some of these, they might as well not be wearing a mask, but they didn't wear masks at all in the Johnny Bauer days. There's Johnny Bauer right there.
Yeah.
He's wearing a mask.
Yeah. And then we have the pretzel mask right there beside you. Right. So there's lots of different style masks that took shape over the years. It'd be nice if they kind of took different forms today. I feel like they kind of have that standard look and feel. Whereas if you see, like, back in the 60s and 70s, there's so many different variations of them. But no, they're still definitely very neat.
Yeah. I love equipment.
Yeah.
Love equipment.
Then around the corner here, this is our collector's corner. So people donate things to us every day. This is only, I would think, about 8 to 10% of our collection that we have here at the museum. The rest of our collection is off-site at our resource center. It's where the Toronto Maple Leafs practice. It's called the Fort Performance Center. It's a huge archival space where we preserve everything, store everything, catalog everything. And we actually host events out there as well. We do some really cool kind of small VIP tours of that space. If you really want that VIP feel. And it's not open to the public. So you bring your small group in of, say, a dozen people, and you really want to impress them, we take you behind the scenes. But this area is our collector's corner. We have all things that people kind of grew up with: video games, magazines, shirts and art, and all sorts of things that people probably have growing up in their own basements or rec rooms. This is our Sports Center news desk. Another interactive feature here. You could actually go inside this. There's a teleprompter in there, so you press play, it gives you the instructions, and you could pretend you're on Sports Center. You read the sports highlights, it records you, and yeah, it's like you're right there at the news desk. So again, it records you and you send it to yourself, and you could you could share it online. So this is also a very popular exhibit for us. This kind of reminds me of like a tree house or something. It's up there, it's more interactive capabilities. We have all these terminals here that you could sit down, you could pick an old or newer hockey moment in history of the game, and you could pretend you're a broadcaster. So you could commentate that play, right? So first you hear the version of the original commentator, like Bob Cole and Harry Neal or some of these guys, Foster Hewitt, and then it's your turn. So you get to kind of call the same play. And again, it records you while you do it, and it's another really cool thing for guests to do.
High tech.
Yeah, high tech. Yeah.
A little low tech here, but this
low
is
tech. It could get competitive though,
old school, absolutely.
Yes.
Would love
You'll
to
have to
have
come
a
back
game.
and we'll
yes,
have to
we
have a
will
game.
have a game.
Yeah. This is called our franchise alley.
Okay.
So we have all 32 NHL clubs represented here in alphabetical order, with all their affiliated farm teams and history. So as you know, we got fans from all over the league coming in looking for their team, and this is where they would find it, right? So
very cool.
Lots of
32 teams right along here.
32 teams along here, as well as some kind of side displays here off to the side. But yeah. So as we mentioned, we have our induction ceremony coming up in a few weeks, but this venue is, as you know, packed. You know, there's over 1,600 people in here with food stations and bars and seating and this rink.
That's your signature event.
Event. We induct players in the Hall of Fame every November. So in June, we released our selection committee vote on the new inductees and builders for that year. And June it's announced, and November is when the official party kicks off. So all weekend we have, festivities, fan forums, and media events, and other fun things for families and friends. And then the Monday evening is when we have the big festival and the big ceremony.
And it is an awesome event. huge, like all the stars are here, the new inductees. But now I have seen a couple times in the rink zone. It's still called the rink zone.
Yeah.
They had bands down there. So one was not the full Blue Rodeo, but Jim Cuddy, I think.
Right.
And the other one was a country guy. I'm not a big country fan,
Yeah.
but just playing right over there was awesome. And then everybody, I don't know how many people would stand up in there.
Yeah, a few hundred people in there.
A few hundred people in there, and then there's more people. Like a really cool event, right in there.
Yeah. We have a huge stage that got set up in there, and
do you own that or do you rent that in?
the stage we rented it. Yeah. So the ceremony happens upstairs in Brookfield Place, and then everyone gets processioned down here into this area. So I'm going to take you into another amazing space here. Leaf fans tend to kind of, turn away a little bit, but you have to appreciate it, right?
This is awesome.
So we have the original replica of the Montreal Forum dressing room here. So we tried to replicate it to a T, right? With all the plaques and the way the jerseys and equipment are displayed, the benches, even the size of the room. I've been told that it's a very similar footprint to what the old Forum was. Now you go into stadiums, as you know, and dressing rooms are the size of pretty much the entire concourse here, And for events, right? Yeah, people come in here with a drink, they have a seat, have a conversation. All right.
And you got some of it started with the jerseys like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, 80s jerseys. You never had the wool jerseys back then, but look at that. It's awesome.
So we have a setup here for goalies as well, right? We have the goalie pads here. Look at these look like old pillowcases or something, but people sit behind them and they pretend that they're wearing the goalie pads, right? It's like they're getting ready in the locker room. So another great photo op. In here we have our Dynasties exhibit. So all of the teams that have won multiple championships in a short period of time are represented in here. So you see lots of Maple Leafs and Montreal Canadian jerseys. You see the Red Wings. Ottawa is also in here from much earlier days.
Is Florida going in?
Florida, they're trending that way. They're trending that way. For larger events, we'll have some seating in here. You're kind of close to the action, but you're off to the side. So if you want a nice quiet conversation or something like that, but
the induction would have, they might have a couple cruiser tables in here.
Yeah.
So there's areas all over, but if you want a quieter spot, people come in here and just have a quiet chat with the cruiser table. They can set their drink on. The induction's a pretty cool event. Very cool.
Yeah. A lot of people think of the Hockey Hall of Fame as maybe representing, the city of Toronto or the province, the country, but we represent the world, right? So we're heavily partnered or funded with the International Ice Hockey Federation. They're a big part of us. We have an entire space here that's dedicated to international hockey. I'll show you, we have over 65 countries represented in here. So people come in here from all over the world for different conferences or trade shows, and they want to have an event at night. It relates to all of us, right? So it's a good time. It's funny when people come in here at first, they might not be the biggest hockey fan. They'll walk in here and they'll kind of, okay, it's kind of neat. And then they come back here into the world of hockey and they see their homeland, their home country, and it just lights them up. And they say, I didn't know we had a team,
Yeah.
and they want a picture, and and we get that instant connection. So
absolutely, you don't need to be a hockey fan to come in here for an event.
Definitely. So this is a popular, Sidney Crosby won gold for Canada, right, in Vancouver.
The golden goal.
This is the net that he scored, the golden goal in.
Now, if you are a hockey fan, you can say, where were you then?
Right.
That was absolutely awesome.
Yeah. And then along all these cases, we have, all the Winter Olympics represented, right? Just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was mentioning earlier, to have the 3-period model, right? So that, because if you open all this right away, it might be overwhelming for people, but we open up little bits by little bits as the night go on, and it works really well.
Now, if memory serves me, at least last year, this was a seafood area for the induction.
I remember well.
Yeah.
The most popular spot of induction.
It is,
yeah.
So they put it in a little bit out of the way, but it doesn't matter. People still, where is it?
We got the bodyguards here, guarding that
It
shrimp.
is.
Because people want to get here nice and early and just, start consuming, but we, little by little, I did want to point out behind you, Scott, this is dedicated to the women's game. So it's really grown over the last couple of years, well deserved, the PWHL, and really it's taken off. And we're super excited to have this exhibit here, dedicated to the women's game, and from the beginning to the most recent of artifacts, and it's a very, very popular one for us. Around this globe, as I was mentioning, we have jerseys from all over the world, right? So, like I said, it's always fun to see people look for their home country. This is where the shrimp and this lobster was set up last year.
Globe on the floor, awesome.
Yeah. We have some more interactive capabilities here. You could search your home country on these monitors here, and all the most historic hockey moments from that country's history will come up, and then you can watch that footage, right, of the country. So, very popular.
This down here used to be offices.
Yeah, I believe a good
My
part of it
office was down here.
Was it?
Yeah. My office was about right there.
Yeah. You had a big office, man.
No, they were small. Like Ronnie Ellis was right on this side of me.
Yeah.
I think there were 2 or 3 offices there. Then there's Hockey Canada was down here, and there were offices right over there.
Okay.
I was just trying to figure out where you got all this space. But you got offices upstairs,
We do.
but no longer downstairs, and you got the resource centers office.
Right, for the most part, yes. Yeah. And then every time, there's a new kind of a lease that's available here in Brookfield Place, we're always looking to kind of
Take
expand,
over, yeah.
take over a little bit, It's just keep growing.
You're giving me wind and rain.
So we'll head upstairs. We'll see the Esso Great Hall. The Esso Great Hall could be closed. There's a set of doors here, so we could actually have 2 events happening at once. We could have the entrance down here for Group 1, or Group 1, I should say. Entrance upstairs for Group 2, so we can have 2 separate groups happening at once. But yeah, you'll see it's a beautiful space.
Entrance is the corner of Yonge in front, so
Yes.
exactly kitty corner to our place.
Yes. Yeah, the venue's fully accessible as well, but yeah, that's a great shot.
They always have the most recent Stanley Cup champ pick. It's incredible.
Fans are always amazed how quickly we're able to kind of get the new
that?
photo up. Usually between like 36 hours and we have the new team up there, after they win.
That's so cool.
That's kudos to our team.
Baby, you
Yeah, a few years back we changed the format. We all these plaque walls were positioned differently in the trophies. The cup was situated kind of in the far door there. I'll show you. But
Yeah, the cup is right there.
the stage was there in the corner. So we kind of shifted things around a little.
That's our wedge out there.
Yeah.
The promotional wedge.
So this building was built in 1885. It was actually the main branch for the Bank of Montreal here in the city. So it was, in existence up until 1991, when the door shut and they needed a new tenant. And I know our team, I was a little bit younger then, but our team was scouting for a new space and found this, and it was a perfect fit. So, the original stained glass still sits here. All the different provinces from that era are represented. There's only 8 of them in there. At the time, only 8 provinces in Canada.
This is an old bank. Have you had any experiences supernatural ghost type things in here?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot. Well, there is. Okay, so I've been here. I'm going to date myself a little bit. I've been here for about 18 years. So I started working events on the floor and started, supervising and this and that. I would be here late at night and, late events. It'd be 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And I've always heard that there's this one ghost. Her name is Dorothy. And she lives here at the bank. So I would be here at the event late saying out loud, Dorothy, kind of, where are you? Let me see you. Show me a sign. I never
Never?
seen her. Never seen her.
I've heard a couple
But-
stories, but I never have. Well, I've heard a couple stories.
Have
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But Dorothy was an employee of the bank.
Yes.
And there is a bigger story to that.
Yes.
We'll let you look that up.
Look it up. This space, as you can see, is beautiful. It's home to all of our honored members, right? They have their plaques up here on the wall. Every year, like we mentioned, we have individuals get inducted in the hall, and they have a plaque, and we end up putting it here up on the wall. It's beautiful. It's great. It's a great scene for the players, for their families, for their friends. The Stanley Cup, right? That is the one trophy everyone wants to come see. Probably the most popular trophy, as you can imagine, everyone wants to come see. People go up there, get their photo with it. For events, we do lots of fun activations with it, and it's a must. It's definitely a must. For events, I should also point out, we have these trophy cases here in the center of the room. So these are all movable, right? So
There's wheels on them?
yeah, there's wheels. It takes a little bit of time for our team to do it, but you know, we can move them out of the way. We do lots of plated dinners in here. So we can sit up to 140 people in here for a plated dinner.
Oh, 140 people. Where do you put a dais?
So
Wherever you want?
bar, back of the room,
Okay.
tables, stage for any type of presentations you may need, screens, podiums, microphones.
You have a screen that comes in front of the cup?
We have two 70-inch monitors
Okay.
on wheels.
Okay, so you can
Okay.
flank.
So you can flank the
it.
stage,
Okay.
podium. You can do handhelds. If you want to do a nice Q&A or a panel discussion, we could do that.
And so these trophies disappear, and
They
you
all
can have
disappear.
like 14 rounds of 10?
We can, yeah. We can definitely do that. We have to also do theater style, right? Up to 225. Lots of different formats in here. Yeah, lots of different formats.
Ryan, can I touch it? Sure. No, I thought you were supposed to say no. See, like the teams got 5 bands.
Well, the newer ones are on the bottom. The older ones are on
Yeah.
the
Right.
top.
So how many more years, Ryan, till the
Toronto.
Leafs are off the cup?
6 years.
6 more years until the Toronto
They'll be on
Leafs
it
are in-
before then. The Leafs and Jays are going to win this year. You heard it here. You got teams from, is it 1893 was the first year it was awarded?
Yeah.
Before the National Hockey League was even there. And as I said, I used to carry this thing out. I think I did 7 cups. So that was pretty cool. Phil Pritchard and I started that with the white gloves in '94. 89 was the Edmonton Oilers. I think that was my first year. So
Very
there you
cool.
go.
That's amazing. I also want to point out up here, we have meeting spaces. We have 2 boardrooms up there, right? So it used to be the bank manager's office back in the day, and his apartment to start. So I think it was first his apartment, because the bank manager used to live at the bank.
And that side would be the apartment. It's
Right.
much more ornate.
It is.
I got married and we had our rehearsal party in that room and it was awesome.
So this is the original Stanley Cup right here, right? The original bowl, the original neck of the cup. Which is really cool is there's only 3 cups. There's the original bowl here in the vault. Then we have the presentation cup, which is the one that travels, the one that the teams receive when they win the cup, the one you see them hoist on TV. That's also the one that travels around, like I mentioned. And then the 3rd version is the one that we have on stage. So that's like our resident cup.
Okay, the one that
Yeah.
travels is the real one.
The real one's actually this
Well,
one.
that's true.
Yes.
That's true. But
The presentation is probably the most famous one.
the
because
real one as we know it.
It's on the. You're the one that carried that cup out, and it's been to parties and.
This one, there's a certain content of copper in that silver that deteriorates the strength of it. It's said that if it were ever dropped, it would shatter into a million pieces, and it is priceless and irreplaceable. So that's why it stays right there.
Big
right?
time, exactly. And this actually retired in the late 60s. You're good, man. Why am I here? This retired in the late 60s. So we kept behind the case and we made a 2nd version of this cup, which is the presentation cup, right? When we opened these doors in '93 to the public, that presentation cup was so busy on the road, it was traveling to events and doing other things, so we thought, we need a cup here at all times for the fans to see. So that's when we made the 3rd version, which is the one that sits here on the stage for its fans. Then we have these beautiful Stanley Cup rings. They're quite impressive. You can see the first ever ring from 1893, Montreal, top left, right? So there's been a big change from that ring to last year's Panthers ring.
Look at Vegas.
Yeah, they always have to kind of outdo everyone, with the bling. But some of these faces, I believe, also Vegas's ring face actually opens up. So you could unscrew it, and inside you have like the outline of the stadium in there, and they're getting super creative with them. But Brian Burke actually started this tradition for us in 2007 when the Anaheim Ducks won the Cup. He called us up and said, listen, we want to have a press event at the Hall, we want to donate a ring, and then we want to have a reception for the team. So we thought it was super cool. So we had that reception, we had that press event, they donated a ring, which is right here on display. And every year since then, most years that is, we would have that press event and then followed by the reception for the team. So it's a great tradition for each team. When they're in town the following year, they'll come in and we'll do that. Because you can see the first row above, they're just sporadic as far as the years that they were donated. They're just random years, but in 2007, we started receiving rings yearly. So it was kind of a new, like I said, new tradition for us.
I presume we're nearing the end of this site inspection, but see, Aaron's had all this stuff to talk about. It's another, it's something else. And as Aaron said, you don't have to be a hockey fan to come in here for a corporate event and learn something and see something that's pretty cool that you can relate to, like a hometown away from home. But my point is that I think we're like nearing an hour. Across the street, I just when I show the space, it doesn't take quite so long because I don't have all the other stuff to talk.
I could lend you some stuff if you want, or maybe you gotta set something
well,
up.
and now as I say that, Aaron, there's been the Stanley Cup has been in our building.
It has.
So twice we hosted the induction ceremony under some extenuating circumstances with the pandemic. The Hall of Fame needed a little extra space. You had it 2 years in our building. But this is its home, and typical spot for the induction ceremony is where you just saw. Right. But we did have a couple of years where
it was great. Definitely, we all knew we needed that social distancing and extra space, and that's what your venue provided. It was great for us to kind of pivot and go there, and very comfortable and very hospitable and.
It was great. It was great. So
it was awesome.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
Hopefully you never have it at another place, and we can say you did host it at Meridian Hall 2 years.
Yeah,
I appreciate your time, Aaron. Thank you very much. It's been awesome going through here. Michaela, not necessarily a hockey fan, but pretty cool, eh?
Now she is, right? Yeah. Thanks, Michaela. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right,
appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott.